I'm going to show you every dividend I've made in the last 12 months. If you're thinking of starting in dividend investing and want to know what a normal portfolio looks like and how it can grow, I'm going to show you exactly that. In fact, I started investing 4 years ago now. It was January 2020. So I've got 4 years worth of dividend payments that I've been receiving. So what does that look like in terms of growth? What are the trends looking like? How are we progressing towards financial independence? So I've captured it all on a spreadsheet. I've got it printed out. You'll be able to see it somewhere on screen. So I got my first investment was into Apple in January 2020. And by February, I got 20p. Doesn't now sound a lot. It is not a lot, in fact, but it was probably the most important 20 pence I ever received because it started me on a journey. Just became obsessed with getting dividends from that point onwards. So sometimes you need something like that that's going to give you the inspiration to get started. So over the course of the rest of 2020, I had quite a few stocks, a lot of US ones. I don't have a lot of these stocks in place anymore. Now, the amount we're getting, clearly not very much. 20p in the first month, 50p, £2.60. So we're into the pounds now, £2.57. And by the end of 2020, I got a total of £66.09. So again, not exactly breaking the bank, but it was the beginning of a journey. Right, by 2021, things are starting to pick up a little bit. We're averaging nearly a tenner a month. So I ended the year at £156.55. You can see that I've got two parts to this. The upper part is all of the individual stocks I have. The lower part is all of my funds that I've invested into it. So at this point, I was getting a lot more, significantly more from my individual stocks than I was from my funds. And since then, I've really tried to up the amount of cash I've invested into funds. So that's significantly more than I have in individual businesses, because who knows what can happen with some of these businesses. And in reality, I don't want to have to worry about a business going under and losing all my money. So if you're in funds, you're a lot safer. Now, this is what I've been using for 4 years. I'm not very good at Excel, so it's not the prettiest. But there's a link in the bio. If you click that, sign up to the newsletter. I'll send these all out so you can have them all. And actually, if there's anyone out there that's any good at Excel and you want to try and make it look a little bit better, feel free. I'll give you a shout out in the next video. The important thing here is we've managed to go from £66 to £156. So we've doubled our income for dividends. Now, all of the dividends I get directly invested straight back into those businesses. And I use Trading212 for that. For me, it's one of the best platforms there is out there. It's one of the cheapest. It's one of the easiest to use. If you want to have a go at it, there's a link below. If you use that, deposit £1, you'll get a free share and you can get started on your own investing journey. Right, 2022, the stocks have significantly reduced. We've started to prioritize a little bit. Take some of when you start investing in individual businesses, you just think, oh, I like the look of that one. I'm going to have that. And there isn't really a plan or a strategy behind it. You might not have done the correct research into these businesses. And that's fine if you go through that journey and you come out the other end and realize, hang on, maybe that's not the right way to do it. So consolidated down some of these businesses now. And the dividends are again really starting to pick up. We're averaging over the course of the year well over double digits now. So at the end of the year, we've ended the year at £470, 470 quid for free. Dividends are one of the most addictive things you can possibly get into. When you start seeing that cash coming in, growing, compounding, it does take some time. It's not going to happen overnight unless you've got a massive amount of capital you can put in. It takes time to get to this stage where we're really starting to noticeably see a significant amount of cash coming in. So 470 quid, what's that over the course of the year? That's about average of £40 a month. So now we're getting to the point where we start thinking about, well, £40 a month. If I was to retire now, it's not going to be enough, but that's the phone bill paid. Right, look at all of our bills. What are they? What can we start ticking off? Now, personally, obviously, what I'm doing at the moment is reinvesting all of this. I've never taken a penny. I mean, you might want to, and that might be your approach. That's fine, but I have never taken a penny. I've directly invested it straight back into those businesses. And 470 quid means that we've not doubled from the previous year. We've tripled the amount of dividend income. Now, if we're doubling and tripling our income every year, that's pretty soon going to be significant. So let's have a look now over 2023, because this was the last 12 months. How did we do? Again, notice a little bit more consolidated. We're into the stocks that I very specifically only want to be in, and I still have all of these now. Certain months, you'll notice, are a lot more significant than others. Certain months, look at February, for example, 7 quid. There's another really low one. July, 13 quid. But outside of that, we're getting pretty decent income coming through. And a lot of these businesses are paying quarterly, of course, as well. So you'll notice the peaks in the month where a lot of them pay quarterly, the funds as well. So March, June, September, December, they're always big months for getting dividend payments. Now notice the funds as well. So the funds are really starting to ramp up in terms of the amount of cash that they're delivering. So I had a couple of really good months. Yeah, so June, £275. £275 for free just for holding businesses and funds. In September, £235. I mean, we're really starting to get into numbers that are making me start to get excited. Now, this means at the end of the year, I broke the 4-digit mark for the first time. Oh, £1,005. £1,005. Now, that over the course of the year, what is that? £90 a month. So again, the amount we're coming in is doubling. So if I was to double every month, every year, the amount I'm getting from dividends, I'd be in a pretty sweet place. Now notice the number at the bottom, 9, 4, 33, 29. What those numbers are is that is the total amount I received in dividends divided by a month's worth of hours. So that tells me my hourly rate from dividends. So when we did some of those big months, so £1.69 in June, I earned £1.69 per working hour by my dividend. When I got my first job, it was only about £3 an hour. So I just wanted to show here what the real benefit can be for investing into dividends. I'm going to always track this and I'm always going to share it. Like I said, I'll send it out to you guys if you want to have a look through. Just join that newsletter. I'll send it out in a week or so. And if you did want to get started investing, use that Trading 212 link below and you can start building your own dividend portfolio.